Welcome to this Moodle Monday presentation. In this video we'll be looking at posting an assignment activity in our Moodle system. The next video will look at grading and feedback for the submissions to this assignment. The assignment activity has so many options we could spend forever discussing all of the customization available. However, we realise that you want to be able to post assignments, gather submissions and mark them as efficiently as possible, so we're not going into great detail on all the options. If the assignment you're setting involves exact answers, such as multiple choice, exact numeric, or one-word right or wrong answers, you should consider creating a quiz instead, as this will mark the student's work for you. It's also worth noting that Moodle's built-in assignment will not check for plagiarism. If you need a plagiarism check for, say, essay submissions, you should consider using the Turnitin activity, which will be covered in a later video. Back in our test course, let's add an assignment. To add a new assignment, switch on editing in your course if it isn't already, and then click Add Activity or Resource in the topic area you wish to situate your assignment. Give the assignment a meaningful name. Perhaps be a little more descriptive than Assessment 1 or Assessment 1 Upload Point. Say something about the task and how it will be submitted. Assessment 1 Book Review Essay. This helps technical staff to support you if you have any problems. In the description field, tell the student what they're expected to do and mention any template files you may be providing. In the Additional Files field, provide any templates or additional resources to support the student with their assignment. In the Availability section, the first two dates should be enough for most assignments. Allow submissions from date, the date and time from which students may submit their work. If you wish to allow them to submit straight away, simply untick this setting. The due date is the date you expect students to submit the work by. You should set this according to your delivery schedule. If the assessment's open-ended, perhaps for the whole block, you can also untick the due date. The Always Show Description checkbox should be unticked if the contents of the assignment are a secret until they allow submissions from date. If not, just leave the setting as it is. Less commonly used settings are the cutoff date, which is disabled by default. If you have a strict closing date, you should enable the cutoff date. This will prevent anyone from submitting after the date you've chosen, and they will certainly fail if this is vital to their resulting. So choose wisely whether this is necessary in your case. Finally, if you'd like a reminder that you have to grade submissions to this assignment, then choose a date in this field. You should receive a notification in your messages in Moodle when this date is drawing nearer. In this section you can choose to receive online text submissions, file submissions, or both. If your assignment involves a short text submission which doesn't require much layout, table or contents, or the like, you may be able to use online text alone. Students will then submit their work using the text editor, which we covered in another Moodle Monday video. A link to that video is in the description below. If the assignment's more involved, perhaps requiring a larger structured document, several documents, images or sound files, then file submissions would be best. You don't have to change any of the other settings in this area if you don't want to. You can specify a maximum number of uploaded files and also set a file size limit. Finally, accepted file types allows you to limit submissions to, say, PDF files, if that's one of the requirements of the assignment. Here you can choose how you aim to give feedback on the submissions you receive. These will be covered in a later video concentrating on grading and feedback. Perhaps the most instant form of feedback is feedback comments. This allows you to leave comments against a submission like this. Annotate PDF is another popular choice. If you wish to annotate directly on the student's submission for them to see, here's the annotation feature in action. Please note that not all file formats will work properly in this annotator, so you may need to resort to downloading the student's submission and leaving feedback comments or uploading a feedback file instead. Feedback files are just as you would expect. You can mark up a copy of the student's own work, annotate this, and post it back as the feedback. Less well used is the offline grading worksheet, which we'll leave out for now. Finally, Comment Inline will create a copy of the student's text submission, which you can type into without losing the original text. We shouldn't require students to click the Submit button, as this is an extra confusing step. We also don't use the submission statement, as students have already agreed to submit their own work. Additional attempts should be set to automatic until pass. This will allow resubmissions without the need to create a completely new assignment. You can set a maximum number of submissions, such as 2. This could be higher for formative assignments. Ignore the group submission settings for now, unless you require students to submit in groups. You can also ignore the notifications section. In the grade area, the simplest approach is to choose the type point and then set the maximum grade to 100. This allows you to enter a percentage as a grade. Ignore the grading method and category. Enter a grade to pass which matches the requirements of your assignment. For example, grade to pass 50 would represent 50%. And ignore the rest of the grade settings for now. In the availability field, you can choose to hide from students. This is useful if you don't want them to have advance warning of the contents, although you can also achieve this back in the availability section by setting an allow submissions from date and unticking the always show descriptor box. The latter seems simpler, but the choice of how you manage this is yours. You can ignore the rest of the settings in this area. Ignore this section for now. You can set advanced access conditions to an assignment, which are covered in the Moodle course Introduction to Activity Completion, linked in the video description. We don't use tags at the moment either. Finally, save and return to course to post the assignment. Here we can see the contents of the finished assignment, ready to accept submissions. Now that you've posted your assignment, you can wait for those submissions to roll in. In the next video, we'll look at providing feedback to your students and grading their submissions. We'll now look at submitting an assignment from the student perspective. We're back in the test course, logged in as a student. You can see the assignment description and additional help file. First, we'll submit our assignment using the online text option. In submission comments, the student can add a note to accompany the submission if they wish. Here you can see the online text submission field, using the common text editor which is present throughout Moodle. I have some text prepared which I'll copy in. You can also see the file submission area, where the student can upload a Word document or PDF instead. The student then clicks Save Changes to store the text, and the submission status is now updated. The number of words posted is provided. This is not the case with a file submission, and we have come in just under the 250 word limit. The student may edit the submission or remove it and replace with another up until the due date. As ever, if you have any questions about the issues raised in this video, please get in touch with the Learning and Teaching team, and thanks for watching.